Alright, starting our little walk over to the park. As he's not paying attention to me.
I'm mesmerized by the little pond with the lily pads, the geese.
What is up, YouTube? We're back to KyLeo Adventures! Woo! We're quite a ways from home. We are visiting a Six Flags park here in Queensbury, New York. We are visiting Six Flags The Great Escape. I heard this one's more of like a family park. So it doesn't have like major big thrills like some of the other Six Flags parks or some of the other vlogs that we have done before. But it's still gonna be fun, and we're kind of here for the coaster credits. It's always been on my list to hit all the Six Flags parks, which is why I decided if we're gonna come to New York, let's hit upstate New York first, hit those rides before we head into New York City downstate. Now the second thing is, so far the parking situation is the directions took me directly to the park. We get there and it says, oh, parking lots are closed, you have to go park across the street. And then we get here and it's like all these parking lots are full. They kind of pushed us further in the back. And now we've got to walk across this bridge in order to get to the park. So, I mean, not the worst walk we've experienced. I'd say it's pretty similar to like the Discovery Kingdom parking. But I think what was also irritating is with our season pass, we're supposed to get speedy parking and preferred parking. Except with the preferred parking, there's like, it's first come, first served. There's no reservations. And I guess they were all filled because it's like, it didn't matter. They're just funneling all of us together into the same parking lot. So, didn't get to use that perk there. But again, we're here to use all the other perks. So hope we have a great time at Great Escape. Thank you. Have a good day.
Sorry, selfie sticks are not allowed in property.
There's a charger for my GoPro though. It's
it looks like a selfie to me.
It's a built-in battery.
Talk to him right over there.
It doesn't stand like
Hi, told me to talk to you guys because I know it looks like a selfie stick, but this is a battery pack for my GoPro.
It doesn't go like more than that.
It literally doesn't extend more than this. And it's like, it's a built-in battery pack so my GoPro can like last throughout the whole day.
It doesn't stand. Don't use it as a weapon.
I won't, I promise.
Okay, did her back go off? No. Okay,
thank you. Wow, look at our priority entrance. We are Diamond Season Pass holders. This ought to be a treat. I do, yes. Hi. It's our first time using our season passes. This one's for him. And then this one's for me. Yay! There should be 6 operating coasters here at this park. I don't remember all the names off the top of my head, but their newest coaster here is the Bobcat, literally opened just last month. I'm sure that line ought to be long, and unfortunately the Go passes don't apply to that ride, which is why we're debating if we even want to get them or not, because it's not like the typical fast lane system. I think it's almost like the Great American one where you like just have like a pass and you're able to just go whenever you want. So the first coaster we are going to go on is called Flashback. It's originally called Boomerang Coast to Coaster because it is a boomerang model. But I think they changed it now just to kind of fit the theming around it and just kind of be like a subpar Six Flags park and not like an on-theme Six Flags park. It is made by the Comet, and it has a total of 3 inversions like every other boomerang. The Cobra roll, which has basically 2 inversions in it, and the vertical loop. Goes 47 miles per hour. It's 116.5 feet tall, and it is 935 feet long. Now I don't know if that track length is just like going forward or if that's the total length if you were to go forward and backwards. But either way, I'm not necessarily a fan of boomerang rides, but we are going on it just for the credit's sake. I know at Discovery Kingdom, Leo, you like that boomerang ride pretty well. Me and my mom didn't. So this is pretty much literally like a replica. Upset with me now. He wanted the back and I made us sit in the middle. I think compared to the Discovery Kingdom boomerang, this one was a lot better. I didn't feel as boxed in. It didn't hurt. So I wonder if it's like technically a different model boomerang. The going backwards still throws me off. Like, I don't really like that feeling of not being able to see where I'm going as I'm going upside down and backwards. What are your thoughts on it, Lovey?
It does feel more thrilling going backwards. It's like the turns are more sharp. But I still don't remember going to this one before. Like you said, it's the exact copy as the other one that we went. I don't remember that. I think it was fun. With the turns and the 360, right? Yeah.
The vertical loop, yes. So I have now switched back to my little gyro stick instead of the stick that is a tripod. Because, you know, when I walk, I'm all wonky-jonky, and the gyro definitely keeps me stable. We did get our season pass cups. These drinks were included with our diamond season pass, and we get to refill them all season as long as there's at least a 15-minute increment, and they work at all parks, so that's gonna be real nice. Now we are riding the Bobcat. So yeah, this is the newest coaster here at this park, technically of the year. It literally just came out this year, June of 2024. The manufacturer is Gravity Craft Corporations, and it is just a family coaster though, but new edition, still looks like a pretty great ride. Like, look at this thing behind me. Looks like a beast. Since it is a family coaster, it does only go 40 miles per hour. It is 55.4 feet tall, and it is 1,412 feet long. I'm pretty excited to ride this. I've seen all the concept arts for it. I've been keeping tabs on it since it was first announced. So this ought to be fun. What do you think of that ride, Lovey?
It was pretty fun.
Yeah?
Yeah. For a wooden ride, family ride, I guess it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I will say the restraints were definitely like different. Like they open up. Like you gotta like fold them in to you. It was comfortable, and I don't know if that's because it's new. It was pretty fun. It was decent.
Yeah. The restraining thing are really comfortable.
Oh, so comfortable. All rides need to do that from now on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a decent speed. It was pretty wild for a family ride. So far, best ride at the park. The Bobcat, being the new coaster, did replace another ride here called Alpine Bobsleds. I wonder if that's also why, you know, the Bobcat is like a kind of little hidden tie back to the coaster it replaced. Kind of sad I wasn't able to ride the Alpine Bobsleds. I was looking forward to that ride, but I do think the Bobcat tops it. Coasters over any other ride, easy. So yeah, Leo and I are going on the Comet. It's been at this park since 1994, but it did first open in 1948 at a prior location. It was made by the Philadelphia Toboggan Coasters Incorporated. That's a mouthful. It is another double out and back, similar to the Giant Dipper at Santa Cruz and the Grizzly at Great America. It goes 55 miles per hour and it is 87 feet tall and 4,197 feet long. I'm a little hesitant about this ride because usually older wooden coasters are a little rough. Double out and backs are not usually the best type of wooden coasters either, in my opinion. But we'll see. We will see.
You guys have a YouTube channel?
Yes.
What's it called?
KyLeo Adventures. So it's like Kylie, it's like Kyle with the O at the end, Adventures.
How many subscribers do you have?
Only 25. We just started like the beginning.
No, we're not all you, so make it 29.
Oh, awesome. Thanks, guys.
Hey, guys. Hey.
Hi to you too. Smooth operator. Except that ride was not a smooth operator. That's how you know it's slow when the ride operator's on it. What were your thoughts on the Comet?
It is pretty thrilling, like so many dips and like different from the Big Dipper. I feel like this one had more and it was like taller drops or like
Yeah, I'd say like, again, compared to Giant Dipper or the other double out and backs that we've ridden, this is definitely one of the better ones. The turnarounds though were quite janky.
Yes.
Like it hurt my boobs, man. Like I was, if you could see our picture, I didn't want to pay for it because it didn't turn out that great, but like our picture, I'm literally like holding my chest because it hurt that bad to go around the curves. But yeah, there were a lot of hills. They were actually quite steep, and because the train that has cushioned seats, so like when you're running around, like when you're riding around and you're kind of like, you know, getting thrown around, it's cushioned like Gold Striker was, so I didn't feel like it was going to hurt, and I think that made it more enjoyable. And now we are over at our first kiddie coaster called Frankie's Mine Train. Lovey, you ready? So ready?
I don't know. It's scary.
Frankie's Mine Train is a Zamperla Gravity 80 standard. I'll be honest, I don't necessarily know exactly what that means. I think it's just the type of model, because typically with kiddie coasters they like to copy paste, and so there are certain models that'll fit in certain parts. So yeah, like I said, it is a family coaster. It is a kiddie coaster. The former name used to be Roadrunner, but same thing with like the Flashback coaster. I think they just changed the name to kind of just make it fit more of the storybook family-run amusement park that's like part of the Six Flags chain, but not like on the Six Flags park theming. It goes 16.1 miles per hour, 13 feet tall, and 262.5 feet long. We'll see if they'll actually let us on this, because most kiddie coasters are like, you need a child. Six Flags is usually pretty lenient when it comes to stuff like that, and Cedar Fair is not. But now that the merger has happened, we'll see exactly what they'll let us do. Well, Leo and I got to the front and we asked her, because we're like, hey, we're big coaster enthusiasts, we really just want the credit, can we go on without a kid? She's like, no, I don't think I can. And then I was like, is there any parent that doesn't want to go on this ride that I could just like borrow their kid so I can get a coaster credit? And no one really spoke up, but there was a kid sitting by himself and he's like, well, I don't mind if you ride with me. And we double checked with the dad. Dad's like, yeah, I don't care. So luckily, again, there's some kid nice enough to be like, you can sit with me. And I'm like, cool, see, I'm riding with a kid. So Leo didn't get to ride, but I did.
Which is the important thing.
Yes, because the coaster credits are more for me. Lost credit for Leo though, sorry. But yeah, I mean, for kiddie coasters, it's not all that. It's janky as always. I feel like it's a repeat of the Roadrunner at Discovery Kingdom, which again, most of them are. But again, it's mostly for the credits. Mostly for the credits. Now Leo and I are heading over to Canyon Blaster. It's been in this park since 2003, but it did first open in 1971, which I guess I think was kind of a trend for a lot of rides here before they like shut most of them down, was that they were just relocated from a previous park. This is an aerodynamics coaster. Aerodynamics is kind of a big player. They have a lot of different rides, but from the more recent vlogs, Aerodynamics also did the Matterhorn bobsleds. This is considered a mine train coaster. I think it's because the way that it's built, it looks exactly like a mine train and runs on similar tracks. It just gives you that feeling like you're going through a mine. This is kind of mostly a family type coaster, so it does only go 45 miles per hour. It's 56 feet tall and it's 2,036 feet long. So I don't know if you can quite see this in the video. Maybe I can zoom in when I'm editing. But I remember there was some other channel, I believe it was Coaster Studios, that made a comment that they had repainted like half the track, which you can kind of see. And they repainted parts of the track that you can see from guest view, like standing down on the main ground. And the other half that is hidden from guest view is not painted. Like, wow. You know, maintenance on a budget, I guess. What are your thoughts on that ride, love?
Slow. Hurt my brain. But to be honest, the Helix part, that one was cool. I like that part.
Really?
Helix. Yeah, I like the Helix, but the rest of the ride was...
Did you experience the same ride then, or?
But most of the ride is slow as fuck. So I'm like, all that, you know, look at the whole ride. Like, there's a lot of... It's not like, oh, they're getting us to the Helix. It's like... I don't know what's the purpose of the rest of the ride, because I think Helix is the main event.
I think it's a family coaster, so I think it's supposed to be like an introductory ride for kids into the coaster world. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of boring, and the Helix part that does gain quite the speed, but I don't think I've ever seen a steel coaster shake that much. Like, there's the infamous B&M rattle. This rattle's probably worse. Yeah, not my favorite. I'd actually probably rank that lower than a Boomerang. And that's saying something, so I don't like Boomerang rides. Canyon Blaster did not feel like it was worth the wait because we had gotten to our little gate area waiting, and they're only running one train. And when the train came back, some of the restraints didn't unlock, so they had to call maintenance over. And maintenance took a while to fix it. So then once they did, though, it had to go through a test run without anybody on it. And it went through that. And then also they went to the fast lane people and they let them go, and they immediately took our rows, and then we had to wait for them to be done. And I'm like, and then we finally get on the ride, and I don't think it was worth it. Leo and I have now stopped to eat lunch, which we went with the classic theme park food, chicken strips and fries. Now to us, this didn't cost anything extra. It was part of our all-season dining pass that we had added on when we had first purchased the tickets. Now normally these chicken strips would cost like, I think $16.49 each. That's what the receipt said before I had to hand it over to pick up our food. I wanted to kind of talk about our season pass a little bit because I keep mentioning it a lot, and it's kind of a debate of whether you should or you shouldn't get it. I know I'm going to 3 Six Flags parks this year, so I was kind of like comparing the prices to see if it was worth it for me. I bought Leo and I's season pass Labor Day because they were running a Labor Day sale, and it was good for the rest of 2023 and the entire 2024. And on top of that great deal, they also decreased the price. Now, the Diamond Season Pass, it is normally $175 per person, which is like, wow, yeah, just a little much. We only paid $95 per person in order to get these season passes. And I was like, oh my God, what a deal. Then we also added on the 2-meal dining plan, which allows us to get 2 meals every single visit at any park. Now, I do believe they have to be 3-hour intervals in between the season dining plans. I believe the all-day dining plan, though, if you were to just do it for a single day, is going to be like a 90-minute wait. That add-on to our season pass was only $99 when it's normally $129. And the $99 is the same price as a single meal plan for all seasons. So it was like, yeah, basically get the second meal for free. So if you're like looking at the total price and what we paid, it was about $416 for 2 season passes to get access to all the Six Flags parks for, again, the remainder of 2023 and 2024. That's only $208 per person. And again, like, I just wanted to like compare the math. Like, was this season pass going to be worth it for me? Because we're going to 3 different parks. Even just comparing the price for a single day here at Great Escape where we're at, it already seems kind of worth it, because a single day admission is already $35 per person, at least. Sometimes it's more depending on the day, holidays, whatnot. Then you also have to pay for parking, which is another $35 at least, unless you want to pay extra for preferred parking. And then if you do want that all-day dining plan that I mentioned earlier, where you get a meal every 90 minutes, that's another $35. And then when you add on the taxes and fees, the total for a single person in order to enjoy their time here would be $120. $120. And we paid $208 per person to get a season pass. We're practically already there at the total after 1 park, and I still have 2 more parks to go to, so to me it was worth it. And the perks that come with the season pass is we get preferred parking, which normally costs extra. We get the free speedy parking, which normally costs $60 per season if you want to like fast lane the parking. It also comes with like a VIP entry, so if the entrance lanes are long, we get to skip it in our own little VIP line. We get lots of discounts on pretty much anything we want to purchase. If it's not included in the meal plan, we get 20% off food, 20% off merchandise. And again, for the price, it made sense for us. Whether it makes sense for you guys, that's up to you. But now our last coaster that we need to complete for this park is called Steamin Demon. Now, Steamin Demon is another aerodynamics coaster. I'm praying it is better than the Canyon Blaster we just went on. This is known as a loop and corkscrew type of coaster. So it's literally in the name. It has a loop and it has a corkscrew. There are actually a total of 3 inversions though. There's 2 corkscrews and only 1 vertical loop. It goes 40 miles per hour, 65 feet tall, and it's 1,565 feet long. So this should actually be a pretty short ride. Steamin Demon was first put into this park in 1984, although it did first open in 1978. Again, following the trend of 2 other rides, it had a previous home before making this its permanent home. I'm hoping this is alright. Most aerodynamic loop and corkscrews are not that smooth, especially for being so old and without over the hardest restraints. The other one I could think of is like Demon at Great America that we rode. Steamin Demon this time. I'm trying to be optimistic about it, but I'm also cautious. So for being a front of the park attraction, I hope it's like good, because it's like basically the ride they're advertising for this park right in the front. Besides, you know, the advertisement for their brand new ride, the Bobcat. Wow, this is basically a walk-on. The hell? There's literally nobody in line. Wow. Selection's up to us. Where do you want to go?
Depends on you. I don't go.
I'm a backseat rider. Let's try the back. It might be a little rough, but let's do the back. Okay, so that part where I said there was no wait, there was literally no one else behind me and Leo, so when they opened the gates, it's just me and Leo in the very back row. Like, the rest of the train was empty. So solo ride, solo ride, solo ride. Felt like the chest dummies.
Yep. Definitely with all that shaking there. That was a really rough, to be honest.
Yeah, we don't need a chiropractor now because our chiropractor's name is Steamin Demon.
Pretty sure I hurt my neck.
No, honestly, me too. Me too. That was pretty rough. Like, the loop wasn't as bad. It's the corkscrews that kill you. It's so shaky throughout the corkscrews. And since you're already kind of like leaning in an awkward position and having it shake, you just feel your neck like bang up against the restraints. But hey, we did it for the credit. Just re-rode Flashback in the back seat like Lovey wanted. What do you gotta say?
Now you're gonna make me say it. Well, it was really rough compared to the middle.
Huh? No, that's okay. I know he wanted the back. I shouldn't have like made the decision earlier, but yeah, the back was pretty rough. I'd say on Boomerang, stick to the middle. Not the front, not the back, just the middle.
It was pretty bumpy, like,
yeah,
like rattly.
That one hurt my head.
My neck too again. Or maybe we're just getting old.
Don't say that, no! Alright, so we are now leaving the park a couple minutes before official park closing. Start with Lovey. What are your thoughts about this park?
Pretty fun overall.
That's it? Well, I mean, I have to agree. I think it was pretty fun. It's, again, definitely a family park. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier in the vlog, but this park used to be called like Storytown or Storybook USA. Dang, I always play music so loud, my god. There's definitely still reminiscence of the old park still around here with all the storybook theming. And I think today went pretty well. I was debating if whether we should get like the Go Fast Pass, which is the smaller park's version of like the fast lane. And we didn't need it because the crowd really wasn't that bad. There were only a few lines we had to wait in line for. I got to ride all the coasters I wanted to, none of them were closed.
Yeah, basically we only have to wait 3 rides, and that is including the repeats. I mean, it was pretty good. That's one of the things that I loved, at least from today, that we didn't have to wait for the rides. Just wherever we wanted to go, we will ride. And there's a nice variety of coasters.
Speaking of variety of coasters, maybe we should do our top 3 rides, like not just coasters, because there's really only 6 of them, so I don't think it's really fair to just rank the coasters. So I'd have to say my top 3 rides would be the Bobcats, probably the best ride here at this park in my opinion. The very close second being the 80K Outlaw. And the third one, I'll have to give it to Pandemonium. That was actually surprisingly really fun. I thought I was gonna get dizzy on it, but I enjoyed it. What would you say your top 3 rides are?
Well, I was still debating a little bit, but definitely the Bobcat. I'm between the Bobcat and the Comet in the first place. I like those 2. So I'm not necessarily sure which one's first. But after those, the Outlaw was pretty cool. I really like that one. Like the height, the speed. That basically is like going twice per ride. And then the Pandemonium was also cool.
Since your legs, the exit is literally through like a gift shop. They're like last chance to buy a souvenir. If you were to give this park a rating out of 10, what would you give it?
I will give it a high score, to be honest, because of how easy it was to get into the rides, and I don't think we encountered any broken ride. I think, well, actually there was just one.
Yeah, the Canyon
Condor.
Blaster, that one broke down while we were in line.
The Condor, and we were waiting for the Pendulum one, but we rode it at the end, so 9. I will give it a 9.
Wow, that's very generous of you.
Yeah, why not? It was a fun, relaxing day.
Well, my score's not going to be as generous, but that's also because I'm more of a thrill seeker, and that's a big factor in like my park score. But it's definitely not the worst park we've been to. And I have to agree with Leo that, I mean, the variety of rides was nice. 6 different coasters, being like one of the first 75 people to log the Bobcat on coaster count. I'm pretty sure that gives me rare points. Woo, first time. Yeah, and again, the crowds, it was easy. We didn't need a fast pass, because most of the time I like to get the fast pass to avoid the crowds so that I don't have to deal with waiting in long lines, but we didn't have a problem with that. I'd probably give it like a 7.5, because it again is just a family park. It's nothing too thrill-tastic, but it is a nice, great little stop. So if anyone's coming up to upstate New York, Queensbury, give it a shot. Well, that is going to conclude our adventure here at Six Flags The Great Escape. Tune in very soon for some new vlogs, and we'll see you on our next adventure. Bye!
Once again, thank you all for visiting Six Flags Great Escape. Have a safe journey home and come back to visit us again very soon.